Shit, I feel like telling it all. I feel like telling. Oh, I feel like telling.
Nancy, you don't have to do that.
Oh, but that was it.
What was it?
He was the only one I had an affair with.
The only one?
Yeah, after you came home. Oh, I was so devastated that he broke up with me. I just said I would be with you just to stay around him.
Well, Nancy just spilled all the tea on that hospital floor, but she ain't had to do Richard like that. She ain't had to do Richard like that. Now, for starters, you know, he's been through a lot within the past 24 hours. Being told his son was dead, but it turns out that wasn't the case. Nancy is, high as, I don't know, a blimp. A kite just feels like such a low bar considering how she's been acting. But yes, she told Richard about the affair she had with her father while he was off at war, and how picky was her son. But now she pretty much flat out stated they had a full-on just sex-a-palooza while he was overseas. She was in love with Clarence. Clarence was bigger than Richard and better in bed than Richard. And the only reason she stayed with Richard was because she felt bad. And, being with Richard meant that, she'd still be around, in proximity with Clarence. And Clarence was the one that broke things off before Richard came home because he didn't want to hurt his son. And they had sex a lot. And Richard, this man, Tyler, can you give this man a break? I mean, dang, he's been through it. To be honest, I think he'd rather be in Sam's position. Yeah, getting his ass beat by a group of guys and whatnot. I feel like that would pale in comparison. To the heartache he's feeling right now with his wife, to the point where he cannot even be around her. The doctor's like, hey, you can carry your wife home now. I'll send somebody to pick her up. It's like, I just can't, and I can't be around her right now. It's like, I got something to do. That just stung. And I feel like at this point, Richard would rather have hot-headed Barry back in the house and, Nancy be the one missing, because Richard's so mad he probably had a Rakadooshi come and take her away because he cannot deal with this right now. And I don't blame him. Remember, he was in his feelings over the affair to the point where he tried to get with Frida, I think another co-worker at the White House. But eventually, they moved past that. But with Nancy going into the full details of the affair, man, she even told Richard before, like, you know what, I'd have sex and do it however you want it to because I felt bad for, cheating on you. But now it's like, oh, well, I stayed out of you because more like out of pity, not because she felt bad and wanted to do right by Richard, but the fact that, she felt so pitiful for him that I don't know how they're going to recover from this. I honestly do not, because eventually Nancy is going to sober up. And based on the episode or the character breakdowns, Clarence is coming this season and Nancy's going to be shocked. So I don't think she's going to remember any of what she told Richard in the hospital, but he's going to remember, and Richard's going to have a sit down so they can get this thing straightened out so we can know the full story. But with that being said, how do you feel about it? Because I remember back in the day, it's like, oh, Richard needs to get over it, and this, and that affair was a long time ago. Oh, but she reopened the wounds, and then she made some new ones. So yeah, let's talk about it in the comments, like and subscribe, and that's all I got.